Hey guys, Adam Pizzo coming from Preston Sports Performance. Today I'm going to talk about the prone one-arm trap raise. While this exercise isn't the most talked about exercise out there, it's important, especially for tennis athletes who sit more forward into anterior tilted position. This exercise is going to help reteach the athlete to sit more in a posterior tilt and upwardly rotated scapular position, which is extremely important when you get into that tennis serve or overhead stroke. So I'm going to have Nick here put his chin on the table. If I want the athlete to have his chin on the table, because if he's holding his head up, it's going to cause a lot of stress to the posterior cervical musculature of the neck. Also, I want to keep in mind that his spine is nice and flat. If he comes into more of an extension posture in the lumbar spine, I can always put a foam pad underneath his stomach. Next, I want to keep in mind that this exercise is a scapulo-thoracic movement, not a glenohumeral movement. What that means is I want the shoulder blade to move on the rib cage, not the arm to move on the scap. Next, I'm just going to take a look at Nick's shoulder blade. So obviously, if he sits in more of an anterior tilted position, I'm going to cue him to a more posterior tilt. Another compensation that I see with athletes is they'll actually start in extension, which means that they're really lat dominant and they don't want to relax their lats. In this exercise, it's very important to get them to relax their lat, otherwise they won't get that full upper rotation that I'm looking for. So just to cue them, I can stand right here and block them off from going into an extension. So what I want Nick to do is to go into that posterior tilt position and come up. Good. Now you'll notice that his arm comes parallel to the shoulder, which is what we're looking for. A compensation I see with athletes is they'll actually bend their elbow here, and that's not getting the lower trap activation that I'm looking for. So we know the pull of lower trap is 135 degrees of elevation, and that's the position I'm looking for. Now another cue I like to use is I'll actually put my hand underneath their arm, and if I'm able to put my arm underneath their front of their shoulder, I know that they're getting that posterior tilt. Oftentimes, just use your arm to do the movement. This arm. My hand will still be touching if they're just getting the movement from their arm. So we can perform this exercise for reps, or in the beginning of the athlete's set, we can have them do iso holds, so we can have them hold it for 5 seconds and just ask them where they're feeling it. So if they're feeling it in their front of their shoulder or their bicep, we know that they're not doing it correctly. So again, very important exercise in teaching that upper rotation and lower trap activation, which will help us get into a better position for the tennis serve or overhead stroke.